Welcome to Factory Live Distillations Part 9. Today's episode is on the open source collaboration method. Overall, the problem statement is quite interesting and worthwhile. The question is, how do you collect potential contributions of millions of people worldwide who are interested in the outcomes of the Global Village Construction Set, GVCS, to contribute information, time, design, prototypes, and other resources for very specific products? What makes this challenging is that we are not organizing an encyclopedic throwdown of content like Wikipedia, but focus content towards about 40 main infrastructure items. Our goal is to publish the open source method to push it to the point where it becomes a viable way of product development as we go about building a world-class open source product development capacity. Our approach focuses on a physical facility as the core of the development process, Factory Farm, which is our collaboratory. It's a physical experiment in terms of testing all the products and their utility towards a post-industrial village. Part of the design is to live with and test the technologies that we create in order to gain the deeper insight into utility and relevance to a high quality of life. The other parts are more virtual. And these are the blog at openfarmtech.org/weblog, which reports on the progress and some day-to-day activity. There's the openfarmtech.org wiki, which is the general collaboration platform. There's factoryfarm.org, the Drupal site, which is now waiting to be populated with content and project news. And there's the OSE social network, which is yet to be set up. So here's an outline of our strategy with which we aim to build the entire GVCS now within 701 days. The clock's ticking. We've started the 1,000 True Fans campaign primarily to fund the development of a proposition that has high risk by sharing the risk among many people. These True Fans are the core of the effort. These are people who are either at Factory Farm or people who are those who want to put their money where their mouth is in terms of GVCS completion. We found that these people are not typically wealthy benefactors as much as people who don't have much money but are interested in applying the GVCS to their own lives. At present we have 24 supporters. So how do we work with the True Fans as the core support group? First, we will set up the social network in the next few days, where we will discuss the strategies for approaching the GVCS as well as do actual work in both project development and marketing. The goal is to gather the support of 1,000 True Fans, but I'm committed to gathering 6,000 for a monthly budget of $60,000, with which we could really put the development on a fast track. So where do we start? Perhaps the Factory Live Distillation series is the best video overview of the work and goals, and the Appropedia page is the second best site to visit for an overview. Then there are the details on the blog, plus the mess of technical development on the wiki. So how do we go about the actual development process? To develop each product, we basically start with a collaborative development procedure where we define what we want, and then begin with a design rationale, conceptual design drawing, then move on to 3D drawings, which we can then show to others for review. So we iterate that until the design is sound, at which point we, with a bill of materials and a fabrication procedure, we build the thing as prototype 1. Then we test it, then iterate the whole cycle until we build prototype 2 and 3, and then we finally have a ready product for market. So the diagram that you see is a summary of what we actually do. For example, with the CEB press, we've done up to prototype 1 fabrication and testing, and now we're working on prototype 2. Each product goes through these steps, and each main product should be listed on the wiki header, so you can look there. The above diagram is the technical development part, and further details are covered by the development work template, which you also see on the wiki. The template is pretty exhaustive and long, a lot of technical details needed for the development of each product, and it should be filled in over time. If all the parts are filled in, then one could basically pick out the relevant details and compose a funding proposal on the work based on the work that's been done. The collaborative product development procedure is the day-to-day activity, but there needs to be the greater framework. the OSC product cycle, seen on a wiki, which also includes the gathering of a development team, fundraising by publishing proposals for all types of distributed sources, fabrication facility development and replication, and the development of a business model. We will be able to discuss this more after we start producing the CEB press, scheduled for May 1, which is 1 month delay due to the organizational work surrounding the distillation series here. So essentially, the collaboration platform is doing the due diligence in the diagram shown above and filling in supporting details found in the development work template and organizing this in a coherent fashion. In principle, someone should be able to look at the template, perform research and experiments, submit data to the template, and all the different technologies of the GVCS could magically materialize. Well, that of course does not happen without strong guidance behind the projects. In this collaborative process, there's a large number of pages to keep track of, as all of the different fields in the template do not easily fit into one page. So lots of information is put down, such as the solar generator project under the category solar turbine, but that needs to be organized over time to a coherent whole, just like anything else. For example, we're struggling right now with just how to keep the wiki cleaned up enough so people can even see all the work that's been done. Much indexing and organizational work needs to be done. We need to be able to show a clear report of status for each project. The pages most relevant for people who want to contribute are the red pages, where explicit working questions are written. Those questions and problems that need to be solved in order to move on. They're a red light. We are also starting to put up a collaborators category, basically a directory of people collaborating on a project who we could tap and what expertise they're willing to contribute. As such, a novice could come to the project and be able to identify people who can answer relevant questions. Our next step is the OSC social network for true fans. We'll be building our collaborators directory so we know who to tap for information and who to tap for review or design assistance, and we're putting up the red pages with working questions, as well as status reports and actual development work templates. This can be done by everybody globally, but the real deal, the physical work, is the actual work that happens at Factory Farm. As such, go ahead and review our distillations presentations, see the general scope, and look at status reports for each project, which need to be written still mostly. And then come to the first World Conference on Open Source Ecology. What's that? It's the world's longest conference in history, where the conference lasts for 2 years. It actually started on January 5, when we kicked off the 1,000 True Fans campaign. What are the goals? The goals are to invite as many people here as possible, especially true fans, for 1 month working stays where each part of the Global Village construction set is developed. It's like the Apollo program for OSE. Prior to coming, people prepare a research proposal and prepare the plan for action for the stay at Factory Farm. So consider all of our work carefully, and we may be inviting you for this personally. We will pay for costs with resources from the 1,000 True Fans campaign, and we may have more earnings from production, such as the CEB press. Open Solar 2, which I mentioned in the last distillation yesterday, is part of this conference. It will be a wild party, about 30 of us here in the summer, and the time's running out. We still have 701 days to go. We're building ourselves the world's first replicable post-industrial village. The rubber hits the road in the actual building of implementations. All the theory has been already laid by giants before us. We're just going to put it into practice. We make the road by walking. There are no rules. The process is open source, messy, and negotiable. Just look at our wiki. But the end result is clear, and we hope to see you working on it with us. And the open source development method yet needs to be refined. We'll see where we are 1 year from now.